Hello, this is Carla Wilson, and this is my final project presentation. Hello, I want to present to you today the reasons for increased emotional intelligence in retail store leaders and why this is truly necessary moving forward as a company to implement a training for those leaders. Why should emotional intelligence training be implemented to the leaders in all the retail stores? Good question. Here's why. After having a conversation with Jay Burge, my district manager, about his observation of how retail store leaders need increased emotional intelligence skills to run their business and properly communicate with their team and peers, the conclusion was made that a training on emotional intelligence must be created. So, emotional intelligence training must be implemented to all retail store leaders so that each leader's interpersonal communication is effective, decision making is improved, and job performance increases. Requiring emotional intelligence training will equip the frontline leaders to thrive in their role within the company as retail store managers and retail associate managers. This ultimately brings success to the store, the team, and its individual members. What more could T-Mobile ask for in its leaders other than this? Why does emotional intelligence and leadership have to do with one another? Well, these 5 statements are why emotional intelligence is important in leaders. Emotional intelligence is critical to the success of a business. Lack of emotional intelligence will be seen in negative things that are happening in a retail store. For example, these negative things would include increased human resources calls by employees, a decrease in positive customer experience surveys, and a decrease in employee satisfaction in their roles. These things are signs that a business is not running properly, which could be due to a lack in its leadership having good emotional intelligence skills. Interacting daily with customers must be done effectively by using one's emotional intelligence skills. Emotional intelligence is used to unify a team and not to divide it. Great interpersonal communication skills, better decision-making skills, and an increased job performance are all the results of high emotional intelligence. The argument for an increased need for an emotional intelligence training is because retail store leaders lack the necessary emotional intelligence skills as a whole to make T-Mobile run more efficiently and effectively for both its employees and its customers. Now, impacting a leader for the betterment of his or her leadership abilities is key in the emotional intelligence training that I'm advocating for. The emotional intelligence training will impact the leader's interpersonal communication, decision-making abilities, and their job performance. Focusing on these 3 benefits will help one to see how important they are for a leader. The question is just how does emotional intelligence help impact those 3 characteristics that we're focusing on? It does so with interpersonal communication by helping manage their emotions and their employee emotions while delivering information to them in a manner that will be well received. The leader also will communicate with intent to create a more cohesive, undivided team. Decision-making abilities are impacted because seeing the need for change, improvement, or restructure of something within the business is highly imperative in any leadership role. Lastly, higher job performance will occur when emotional intelligence skills are adequately developed within the leaders. Impacting emotional intelligence in these 3 areas will ultimately bring success to the individual stores and to the company as a whole. Investing in a cost and time-effective emotional intelligence training is indispensable. This training will be done by each retail store manager and retail associate manager by taking an emotional intelligence pre-test. Next, each leader would read through the Emotional Intelligence 2.0 book created by T. Bradbury and Jay Greaves. Each leader would take 2 hours out of their 8-hour workday to read chapters in this book. This would occur for 4 days. Trainers would follow up with the leader after each session and assess what they have learned. After the book is complete, a post-test would be administered to them to see if their emotional intelligence increased. This training could be retaken by the retail store managers and retail associate managers as they needed it. This investment that T-Mobile is making in its people will pay off in the success of teams all across the retail side of the business. Using this book to increase emotional intelligence in the leaders within the retail store locations is a sound investment in T-Mobile's frontline managers. Implementation of this training will show retail store leaders that T-Mobile's senior leadership really is invested in helping them achieve success in their stores. Senior leadership is constantly saying how much they desire to invest more in the development of their people, and this training helps to do just that. Using the book will help the leaders develop emotional intelligence skills that will help them to increase their interpersonal communication skills, decision-making skills, and job performance. These are the 3 main things that emotional intelligence hopes to accomplish. Personal and social competence leads to better controlling one's own emotions and perceiving others' emotions accurately. This slide is actually a clip from the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. The book uses this image to help one navigate through the different areas where emotional intelligence plays a key role in increasing the success of the personal and social aspects of running a team. Improving oneself and one's relationships are crucial steps to make a team successful, both from a business or professional standpoint and from a personal development standpoint. Therefore, the Northeast Georgia team will trailblaze this emotional intelligence training in the market. Then this identity can become the motto of all retail stores. The T-Mobile leader's identity is a person who uses their emotional intelligence to trailblaze a way for others to be successful in their careers. It's people investing in themselves and taking this training and then reinvesting it into their teams. Now there is a call to action for the senior leadership team to implement this emotional intelligence training so that there can be unified success throughout the district and market from an emotional intelligence standpoint. With that being said, choosing to implement this training will impact not only the retail leaders, but also the team members on each team. So the retail store leaders only have one question to ask you. Are you with us? Thank you for your time, and I look forward to collaborating with you soon.